Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Edu, and today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 25 July 2020. So guys, quickly join this session and also try to add more and more people. We are about to start. Let us see the first news. Pharma company Cipla is ready to launch Favipiravir for COVID-19 patients. So this pharma company Cipla, it is all set to launch this antiviral drug which name is Favipiravir for the treatment of COVID-19 patients, and recently the drug has shown promising results in clinical trials for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. And along with this, Drug Controller General of India, that is DCGI, has permitted restricted emergency use of Favipiravir in the country. Also, the government Apex Research Institute, which is CSIR's Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, it has transferred cost-effective technology for the development of this drug to Cipla. So finally, this drug Favipiravir is said to be launched. Now let us see a question related to the news. Which of the following is not true? You have to tell that which statement is not correct. Soon Cipla Pharma Company will launch antiviral drug Favipiravir for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Second, the Drug Controller General of India has allowed full use of Favipiravir in the country. So, what will be the correct answer for this? Which statement is not correct? The correct answer is option B, that is true only, because the DCGI has allowed its partial use, that is its use only in the case of emergency. Moving forward to the next news, cigarettes and other tobacco products packaging and labeling rules 2008 were amended, and along with this the Union Health Ministry has notified new sets of health warnings for all tobacco products. As we all know that tobacco is not good for health, and therefore the cigarettes and there has been amendment in the cigarettes and other tobacco products packaging and labeling. It states that anyone directly or indirectly engaged in the manufacture, production and supply of cigarettes or any tobacco product, they must ensure that all tobacco products packages have a health warning specified. As you would have seen in the some of the tobacco products, there is a photo of a person who has suffered the cancer due to the consumption of tobacco. So such type of warnings are necessary, and any person who is directly or indirectly engaged in manufacturing, production and supply of cigarettes or any tobacco product, they should ensure that there should be health warning on the packets. This new warning, it will come into effect from 1st December 2020. So these new warnings that have been issued, these will come into effect from 1st December 2020. And according to this, the text messages that has to be printed on packs of tobacco products should contain tobacco causes painful death. So this text message should be printed on all the tobacco products. The violation of the prescribed provision is a punishable offense with imprisonment or fine. So any person who will be violating this this issued warning, that is the packet should contain this message, and if any person who is involved directly or indirectly in the manufacturing, production and supply of cigarettes or tobacco product, and if they have not written on the packages that health warning, then this will be considered as a punishable offense with imprisonment or fine. Moving forward, let us see a question. Recently, the cigarettes and other tobacco products packaging and labeling rules 2008 have been amended. When will the new warning of this rule come into effect? 1st December 2020, 1st September 2020, 1st January 2021 and 1st November 2020. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer is option A, that is 1st December 2020. Moving forward, CPCB issued a new guidelines on the disposal of COVID-19 waste, and the instructions are as follows. Mask and gloves used by all, infected or not, should be cut and kept in paper bags for at least 72 hours before closing. Common solid waste and biomedical waste generated from the quarantine centers and homes should not be mixed. They must be collected separately so that the proper care has been taken to ensure the proper care, because the persons who would be finally separating them out, they can get this infection. So that is why the common solid waste and the biomedical waste should be separated. And the CPCB has also recommended the use of biodegradable and non-biodegradable disposal cutlery to reduce waste production. And isolation coaches, which include temporary health facilities such as rail coaches, have been advised to keep a separate color-coded compartment to use a dedicated bin to collect and store COVID-19 waste. So these isolation coaches, especially the railway coaches that has been converted into the temporary health facilities, so they should have a separate color coded compartment, so that there should be a dedicated bin in that compartment, and there it should be, the waste should be collected and stored. Now moving forward, talking about Central Pollution Control Board, it is a statutory organization which is under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This CPCB, it was established in 1974 under the Water Act of 1974, and CPCB is also delegated powers and functions under the Air Act of 1981, that is Air Pollution Prevention and Control Act of 1981. So powers have been delegated to CPCB. Its headquarters are located in New Delhi. Moving forward, let's see a question. In which year was the Central Pollution Control Board established? 1979, 1974, 1970 and 1971. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer for this is option B, that is 1974. Moving forward, Riva Ganguly Das has been appointed by the government as Secretary, Eastern Ministry of External Affairs. Currently, she is the High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh. Ms. Das is a 1986 batch IFS officer, that is Indian Foreign Service officer, and she will succeed Ms. Vijay Thakur Singh, who is retiring on September 30 this year. So if a question is asked that who has been appointed as Secretary East in the Ministry of External Affairs, the correct answer will be Riva Ganguly Das. Moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, who has been appointed by the government as Secretary East in the Ministry of External Affairs? Riva Ganguly Das, Geeta Kumar, S. Subbalakshmi and Kavita Singh Chauhan. Quickly comment the correct answer. It's very easy. The correct answer is option A, that is Riva Ganguly Das. Moving forward to the next news, 10th meeting of trade ministers of BRIC countries. It recently concluded in virtual mode. The Commerce and Indian Industry Minister Piyush Goyal attended the meeting on the behalf of India. Addressing the meeting, Commerce and Industry Minister has called on all countries to build trust, to increase transparency in their trade and to prevent losing their role as a key trade partner. He also called for removing many barriers to accessing medicines at affordable prices created by WTO rules to protect intellectual property, so that there is no barrier to access to corona drugs globally for this reason. So basically the restrictions that has been imposed due to WTO rules, so that should be kept aside for the time being, so that the corona drugs which are effective for treatment of COVID-19 in this global scenario, so this should be accessible to all countries irrespective of their status, irrespective of their economic condition. And talking about BRICS, BRICS is a group formed by 5 major emerging economies, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Initially there were only 4 countries and it was named BRIC in 2006, but later on, after the inclusion of South Africa in 2010, its name became BRICS. And together these countries represent 42% of the population, 23% of global GDP, 30% of geographical regions and 18% of global trade. Now quickly comment, where are the headquarters of BRICS located? Quickly comment. Where are the headquarters of BRICS located? The correct answer is Shanghai. The headquarters of BRICS are located in Shanghai, China. Now tell me that when is this BRICS Summit 2020 will be held? BRICS 2000 Summit will be held in which country? Quickly comment. It will be held in Russia. Okay, so this year Russia is responsible for hosting this BRICS 2020 Summit. Now moving forward, which country was the last to join the BRICS group? Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? The correct answer is option D, that is South Africa. It joined the BRICS group in 2010. Moving forward to the next news, Ministry of Human Resources and Development for the first time conducted the Indian Scholastic Assessment Test 2020, which is also known as INTSAT, and this is conducted under the Study in India program. It is an exam which is conducted to provide scholarships and admissions to foreign students to study in selected Indian universities. The examination was conducted in the internet mode by the National Testing Agency, and around 5,000 candidates from Nepal, Ethiopia, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Zambia, Indonesia, and Mauritius participated. And this INSAT score, it will serve as a criteria for the allocation of scholarship under the Study in India program to shortlist meritorious students for undergraduate and postgraduate programs. And talking about this National Testing Agency, this was recently created. It was established as a premier specialist autonomous and self-sustained test organization that will be responsible for conducting entrance examinations for admission, fellowship in higher educational institutes. And under which ministry this National Testing Agency has been established? Quickly comment the correct answer. Yes, Ministry of HRD. Very easy, because exams is conducted and education is related to Ministry of HRD. It is the department under this. So therefore, the answer will be Ministry of HRD. And one more thing about National Testing Agency, that the First Director General of this National Testing Agency is Vineet Joshi. So this is an important information for you guys. A question can be asked that who is the current Director General for National Testing Agency. So that is Vineet Joshi, and also this was founded in 2017. So if a question is asked that when is a National Testing Agency was found, so it was founded in 2017. Okay. Now moving forward, what is INSAT, which has been in the news recently? It is a satellite new species of butterfly, an eligibility test or supercomputer. Quickly comment what will be the correct answer for this. Quickly comment. The correct answer is option C, that is it is an eligibility test. Now moving forward, 23rd July is celebrated every year as National Broadcasting Day. So on this day in 1927, a private Indian broadcasting company started the first radio broadcast in the country from a Bombay station. And the greatest democracy, India, has its peculiarity of speaking power and freedom of expression, and radio is a strong example of freedom of expression as a broadcast medium. Currently, radio is an effective and reliable medium of knowledge, information, and entertainment. Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor, invented the radio in the 1990s. And on 23rd July every year we celebrate National Broadcasting Day. Now moving forward, on which day is a National Broadcasting Day celebrated in India every year? 22nd July, 23rd July, 24th July, and 25th July. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer is option B, that is 23rd July. Moving forward, formal sanction letter issued for permanent commission to women officers in Indian Army. Recently, the Ministry of Defence has issued a formal sanction letter for providing permanent commission to women officers in the Indian Army. And by this order, the permanent commission can be given to women officers of a short service commission in 10 branches of the Army. These include Army Air Defence, Signals Engineers, Army Aviation, Electronics and Mechanical Engineers, Army Service Corps, Army Ordnance Corps, and Intelligence Corps. Women are already being given permanent commission in the Judge and Advocate General and Army Educational Corps. With this, the way has been opened to give big responsibility to women officers in the Army. Moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, the Ministry of Defence has issued a formal government approval letter to give permanent commission to women officers in the Indian Army. By this order, how many branches of Army can be given permanent commission to women officers of the Short Service Commission? 7, 3, 8 and 10. Quickly comment the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Moving forward, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar inaugurated a National Transit Pass system in New Delhi. So recently, the Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar, he inaugurated the National Transit Pass system at Indira Paryavaran Bhavan in Delhi. The National Pass system ensures uninterrupted movement of forest produce. This system is a part of alleged comfort of movement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the people can apply for a pass from their mobile phones as well as get an e-pass on their mobile phone, which is another step towards the Digital India movement. So people can apply for the pass through their mobile phones, and they can get then e-pass on their mobile phone only, and then they will be able to move uninterruptedly for taking the forest produce through this National Transit Pass system. Now moving forward to the next news, Turkmenistan was granted observer status in the WTO. So recently, Turkmenistan has been granted observer status by the World Trade Organization General Council, and with this, Turkmenistan became the last former Soviet Republic to establish formal relations with the trade organization. Turkmenistan filed a request for observer status in May, and neighboring Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan and Afghanistan, they have already entered WTO. They have acceded to WTO, while Uzbekistan has been negotiating since 1994 for WTO accession, and now Turkmenistan has been granted observer status in WTO. And if we talk about WTO, so first quickly comment where the headquarters of WTO are located. Where are the headquarters of WTO located? Very easy. Geneva, Switzerland. The headquarters are located, and this WTO, it is an intergovernmental organization which is responsible for regulation of international trade between the nations, and its members are 164 currently, and it was founded in 1995. So WTO was founded in 1995. The Director General of WTO is Robert Azevedo. He is the current Director General of WTO. And if we talk about Turkmenistan, it is a country in Central Asia which is surrounded by the Caspian Sea and Karakum Desert. Its capital is Ashgabat and the currency is Turkmenistan Mannat. You can see the location in the map. This is Turkmenistan, and on the one side there is Caspian Sea. It is surrounded by Caspian Sea from the one side. Now moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, which country has been given observer status in the WTO? Vietnam, Turkmenistan, Bahrain and Qatar. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer is option B, that is Turkmenistan. Moving forward to the next news, Lonar Lake in Maharashtra turned pink due to microbes called Haloarchaea. So we studied this about this Lonar Lake, that its color has been changed, and the reason was cited as the increase in salinity in the lake and also the presence of algae. And now the scientists at Agarkar Research Institute, they have founded that the color of this Lonar Lake changed to pink in Buldhana district of Maharashtra due to the presence of a large amount of salt-loving Haloarchaea microbes. It has surprised not only the locals but also the nature enthusiasts and scientists due to the pink color of the lake water some time ago. And this lake water, samples were taken from this lake water and they were sent to National Environmental Engineering Research Institute in Nagpur and Agarkar Research Institute in Pune for the examination. And this is important for you guys, that this National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, which is a institute of CSIR, and it is located in Nagpur, and Agarkar Research Institute is located in Pune. Initially, scientists thought that it was due to pigmented Dennalia algae, but later the exact reason is understood, that is caused by that it is caused by the Haloarchaea microbes which produce a pink pigment. The absence of rain, less human interference and higher temperatures resulted in water evaporation, which resulted in increase in salinity and pH of the water. Salinity and pH facilitated the growth of halophilic or Haloarchaea microbes. The lake's color is now returning to its original form as the rainy season has reduced the salinity of the water. So due to the rain, the salinity of the water has been reduced and the color of the lake is restoring to its normal color. Due to this, the level of salinity and pH alkalinity has also decreased and green algae in the water body have started to grow. So now the green algae are growing back. Flamingo has turned pink or red due to food containing carotenoids. So recently there was another incident that flamingo turned pink or red due to food containing carotenoids. This bacteria which produce a pink pigment is swallowed by these birds, and this carotenoid rich food flamingo has also become red or pink like a lake. So that is why it was also in news. This is an additional fact for you guys. Now moving forward, which of the following statements is true? Lonar Lake in Maharashtra turned pink due to microbes called Haloarchaea, and this microbe is produced in high salinity. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, none of the above. Quickly comment the correct answer. Which statement is true out of these two? The correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and related questions. I hope you like this session. Keep following daily current affairs, like the video, share it as much as you can. If you have any doubt, mention that in comment box and keep preparing well. All the best. Thank you so much.